G'day everybody, welcome back to our series of videos. Still back on Project C, okay, which is our single story intermediate level. Okay, so previously in this project, if you look on the right hand screen here, okay, we had updated this. I think we deleted a roof segment or modified a roof, and we've added this piece in here, and now we need to get these two columns and that floor lined up with this piece here, so we create that nice front entrance. Okay, now before I go any further, you may be asking, how did Reese get these two screens up? Okay, so there is a command in Revit. If we go to our view tab up the top, okay, and there's a whole section here on windows. So this is making all of our little windows appear and disappear. Okay, and there is a couple of functions here. So we've got switch windows. So if I click on there, that'll show every open window that we've opened in a project and in other projects if we've got them open at the same time. And then there's a couple of other functions here that sort of allow us to see all the windows open at one time. So I've got this one here called, actually what I'll do, I'll just show, so this is what it would look like normally. Okay, full screen, and in the buttons in the top right hand corner you've got your minimize, restore down, and then you've got your close. Okay, now if I go to my Windows section in the View tab, okay, and if I go to Tile, or the quick key command there is WT, so if I click on this tile, okay, it will tile up these two windows. These are the only two windows I've got open, so it will tile them. Let's see what happens if I open up a whole barrage of other plans, okay, and then I go tile again. Okay, see what Revit does? It basically lets you see multiple views at the same time. Now the beauty of this is that I can go, right, there's my ground floor plan, there's my 3D, here's a south elevation, okay, and I can do things like, so I can click on say this column here in my elevation view, and I'll be able to see it light up in blue in another view where it's visible. Likewise, if I click on this little bit of flooring here, there we go, 1, 2, 3. So it's a really cool way of just being able to see more information. And it's really handy if you're working in sections and 3D, and you just need to see a bit more information about how a model component relates with another piece. Then having a few windows open can help. Economy wise, I would advise you probably, as a general rule, 4 windows is going to be enough. Okay, I think you get bombarded. You start getting very, very small windows if you make it any smaller than this. Okay, so, but anyway, so I've got this 3D thing here, and I want to move this column, and this column there, and I want to move this building pad. Okay, or it's just a floor at this stage. Okay. So I am going to go to my ground floor plan, and I'm going to move those columns, and we have a problem. I can't see them. Okay, so if I do my tile windows, WT, if I go, I don't need my north elevation, and I don't need a roof plan, so again, retiling. Okay, and the window that's active will always be on the left hand side. Okay, now the columns are definitely there. The concrete pad is definitely there. As you can see, it's lighting up. And what's happening if I click on that concrete pad and it highlights in my floor plan, you'll see that the columns are there. Okay, and if I do things like, if I drag that footing, that pad out, The columns are there. So something's gone crazy. Okay. And this is what happens in Revit, is that things will appear to disappear. Okay. Now, why? So you have to start asking a whole series of questions. Okay, why? Now, there's a number of different reasons as to why this might be a thing. One of the first things is, okay, I'm going to go into my reveal hidden elements, okay, and I'm going to see if those columns are hiding from view there. No, they're not. That's cool. Okay, so I'll rule out that one. Another thing I can do is type in VG or VV. Okay, look at my model categories, because those columns are modeled, and I'll look to see whether the columns have been turned off at all. Okay, so my columns are on there. If I scroll down here, I've got structural columns as well, so I can have a quick check in there. No, everything's fine. Okay, so again, I can see it underneath. If I move that face, that slab, I can see them. So something there. So they're not turned off, but they're not visible. Okay, my next trick is to have a look at view range. Okay, my top level there is 2300 associated with ground floor plan. Okay, and if I have a look at one of these, okay, ground floor plan, ground floor ceiling, and it's offset by 250 here. Okay, now I'm just going to test something here. Okay, and I'm just going to delete that offset. Okay, I'm just going to make it a 0 offset. I'm just going to have this column come all the way up, and hello there. If I click on that, got to make sure you click into that window so I can zoom in there. Okay, that column has now appeared. Okay, so I'm going to do the same with that column there, and apply. Okay, good. We've got both of our columns back. Okay, why I can't see them, I'm not going to explain that right now. Okay, there would be a logical reason. It's basically in the view range, these bad boys have been cut off. Okay, so Revit wasn't slicing through them, although in theory it looks like it should have been. But this is Revit. It is a good program, but boy oh boy, it does create some issues sometimes, and this is one of them. Okay, now let's very, very quickly see if we can fix this up. So my other fundamental issue I have right here is that I can't see that in my ground floor plan view. So go to my ground floor plan view. Remember, we have these magical little levels called underlays, okay, which will let us ghost up other images. Okay, so what I'm trying to do now is see whether I can ghost up my roof. There we go. Okay, there we are. Right, so there's our roof line there. I can't do anything. I can't manipulate that. Okay, it's just showing me where it is. But what it does do, at least gives me the opportunity to now go into my floor. I've gone to the edit boundary mode, and I'm down just doing a range of things. Now, just because we can't manipulate this ghosted image doesn't mean that Revit can't snap to it. Okay, and that's what we're using. Okay, so I've manipulated that floor, and see there in my other tile on the left hand side, it's all updated. There we go. And now I can MV, I'm just going to move my, okay, I just typed in SE, which means snap endpoint. Okay, I'm just going to put these columns right on the end just for now. Okay, SE, snap end. Okay, let's have a look in the 3D. Okay, it's all sort of looking roughly where it should be. Okay, now in my 3D, what I can do is just for argument's sake, okay, I'm going to attach. So I'm going to select these columns. So select one, hold my control key down, select the other. Okay, so columns can attach and detach. Okay, so if I attach, and I'm going to choose that roof as the point of attachment. Okay, so what it does is it just brings these columns up to meet the bottom plane of the roof there. Okay, now if these had been built with walls, they would have merged and blended in with the roof, but these are columns. They're not designed to blend in. Okay, these are solid elements. Okay, because the reality is we would probably have a lintel or something like that happening along here. Okay, and we can do things like, okay, double check this. So these columns are now got a top offset of 200. Okay, this roof theoretically has a base offset of 200 from the ground floor ceiling. Okay, so it's now at the moment everything's behaving itself. Okay, so I think for the time being, I think I've shown you a couple of new tricks there that you might not normally have used. Okay, we'll call it quits there. So we've gone through trying to find disappearing columns, wall tiling so we can see multiple views, and we've moved some columns, and we've attached them to a roof so they are adhering to the right levels. Okay, we will leave it there for now, and I'll see you later.